Good evening, everybody. We are back with another of our rooms in our 100 room build challenge. Now, obviously, we are getting super close now. This should be the last episode, but I wanted to do a special room for you guys for our last room, which is going to be the 100 rooms, and I'm going to do that in the next episode. So I do apologize, but we're only going to be doing 4 rooms today, mainly just because I really do want to do that last room as like something really big and exciting. And don't worry, I have good things planned for it, so it should look super good. But today we are going to be doing 3 of the 6x6 rooms and our last one of the smaller rooms, which is only 3x3. So I'm going to start with this little room that we've got here, and I think I'm going to do another kitchen. We're going to try and keep it, I was going to keep it like super cottage looking, but we do have this really modern looking window here, and we have a kind of modern looking door there, which is kind of annoying. I am tempted to change it just because I think we could potentially change it to the idea that I have in mind, and it should still work. So let's see whether I can do that first. So what I wanted to do, instead of having one big window, is actually have 3 smaller windows. So I'm gonna see if that's doable. I did kind of want to do these ones, but they do have this big like line that goes across them, so I don't know if it's gonna look that good on the other side, but I think let's just place them and have a look and see what we think. I did want them to be like in line with each other. I don't know if this already exists actually, and it would make it a lot easier, but I'm just gonna combine them myself. Okay, so that's kind of the idea that I had. I think it looks pretty cool. We definitely do need to change the curtains on the other side of this though, I think. But actually, it doesn't look too bad. Obviously, like if you downloaded this section yourself, you could just amend it and change it to a different set of windows. I don't think it looks awful. So we'll just leave that as is for now. And I am going to change this door here to just something that's brown, but trying to keep it like sort of modern so it works with that other room that we've got. I think this one would probably work quite well. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's not too bad. I do think that I had it moved over a little bit, but I am going to keep it there. So we'll stick with that. The issue obviously is that we did have a platform in the last room, so we're going to have to basically work out another way to sort that out. I think what I'm going to do is actually just make this one little section here a platform. We can have the stairs coming off at the side. There we go. So now that we've got that in line, we can go ahead and grab our little stairs. I want to obviously stick to something a bit more cottagey. I think I'm just going to go with maybe like these ones from the Act Cottage set, and we'll just stick them there. And then I'm just going to go with some classic wood for the edges. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. And then we can go ahead and do the rest of the room now that we've kind of done our little fixes. We do actually, we need to add in an additional door. So I'm gonna add it in probably on one of these sections here. Let's just double check. Yeah, we definitely do need a door because we don't have a door leading to these parts yet. So I think I'm gonna add the door on this side, and we'll just stick with the same door. I think it'll be fine. We can change it later if we need to. Then in terms of our walls, I think I'm gonna do brick along the majority of it, and we can have maybe one accent wall that goes across this back section here. Thinking maybe a slightly darker brick or something like this might work. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with this one because this one I think looks quite nice. Then let's have a look at some accent walls. So I was thinking the ones that literally do come with the cottage pack. There was a specific one that I kind of had in mind that I might see if I can find. Actually, I don't know if it did come with the cottage pack. I'm trying to remember what it was. Yeah, it was these ones. So I really like this one with the mushrooms and the little leaves. So I'm gonna go with that across here. I think that looks pretty good. Or we have a slightly different color, which is this one. I think this one might match a little bit better. Then in terms of our flooring, I'm either going to do wood, or maybe we could have a look at some tile. I know there's like this kind of tile which looks kind of cool, or this one. I wanted to just look like a little bit more rustic. I think that could look a little bit better. Maybe like this one. I think it's a bit too light. I think I'm going to go with this one. I think this one kind of works the best. Then I'm going to go ahead and start adding in all of my different little bits. Obviously, we do have this little step here, which is kind of annoying. I think I'm going to have to like stretch it maybe around so that it connects up with it. It is a little bit weird though. Hopefully it should be okay. I think I am going to mix up which one we actually go with though for the main actual countertops. Might go with these ones, but they are green, so they don't really go as well. Or we could go with this red one. I feel like there's definitely not enough light in here, so I'm going to go grab some more light. There we go. That's a lot better. I can see everything now. Yeah, so going off something a bit different, maybe we could use these ones, because I don't think I've actually used these ones in any of my builds before, so that could be something that's a bit different. So I think we're going to do it like that. Then is there a sink that matches perfectly with this? I don't think there's gonna be. Oh, actually, I think, yeah, there is. Perfect. Awesome. So we can use that one for that. Then I'm gonna add some curtains as well, just across this top part. I do want this to feel like a modern cottage kitchen, so I'm wondering whether these would actually be quite good. Maybe in a slightly different color. Oh, yeah, these actually work really well with the walls that we've got, like the brick. We can do it like that. It looks kind of cool. It's definitely a different build than a lot of the other ones that I've been making, but we can keep going and see if we can make it look a little bit better along this part here. Oh, actually, or I could do it on this part. I'm gonna have some shelving, and then we can put like a bunch of items on there. I think I'm gonna do it on this part just because it makes a bit more sense. I'm just gonna go all the way across like this, so we've got loads of little bits of shelving. I don't know if that is the wood color I want to do. I was mainly just doing it because it matched the wall, but now I'm not too sure because it looks weird with this door here. Though I pull the door across a little bit, it doesn't look as weird. Yeah, I think it does look a little bit better in brown, or maybe even white because it matches the countertops. Yeah, actually, let's go with white because it matches the countertops and this little wallpaper we picked here. So then we can go ahead and add all of our little different decorations. I'm just going to add a bunch of kitchen related stuffs. We've got like loads of little cabinets and things. We can also obviously add some little plants. There's quite a few little bits that I tend to put in our kitchens, but that could also include just stuff like this where it kind of looks like it would work. I'm going to have to move these first though. These kind of little bits of clutter work in like most rooms. I'm going to use these as well, which is like little spices. Then we can go up a little bit and I'm going to add some stuff on the second one now. Basically just any kind of jars I feel like always look really good. So we've got like this pepper jar thing, and you can change the color of that as well, so I'm going to change it a few times and just stick it next to each other. Then we do have more jars. These are just literally dog treats, I think, from the pet expansion, but I just like the fact that they're jars and you can just then put them in the room and it makes more sense. Then we got like this little thing of lemons, which I'm going to just add next to these guys. Then on the top section, I normally just add a bunch of books because they're like cookbooks and stuff, so I'm just going to add a few of those as well. Then I'm going to finish it off with just some little cutlery. There we go. Perfect. So now that that's all filled in, we can do this corner as well. I'm thinking like maybe an open book or something that indicates that it might be like a cookbook, so it's currently being used. We do also have these little jars, which I think are literally perfect for the cottage set. Obviously they're from that anyway, so I'm going to include those too. And there's our little open book that I was thinking about. Gonna just stick that probably just on this edge here. As for our jars, we can just put them in the corner here, and then I might just stick an additional plant right next to it there. Maybe just make this a little bit smaller. There we go. How does that look for now? Yeah, that looks pretty good. I think we could do a little something else on here though. Maybe just like this cute little, yeah, that looks good. Then we can move over to the other side of the room. I don't know if there's anything else actually I want to put in these parts. Do you kind of feel like in this corner over here, I want like that nice little hanging plant that you can get. This one here, just have that hanging in the corner here. I definitely want something here because I think this would be better if it was in the middle, but we can't have it in the middle because of the size of the room. So what other kitchen gadgets maybe? I don't know, because we want it to be quite flat. I don't want it to take up too much of that side. Alternatively, we do actually have that like this thing which works pretty well, like a dish rack, just to go next to the sink, and that actually does kind of work. I do just think it needs like something else here. There we go, that looks a little bit better. Okay, then another idea that I had over here is we can have a separate section where we have our fridge and our oven on this wall here. So I'm going to choose maybe different countertops so that we mix it up a little bit, and I'm basically just going to do like the side ones. We've gone with kind of greys, so blue would probably work a little bit better. We haven't really done a lot of green in this room. Okay, let's evaluate. Maybe yellow actually. Yeah, I think the yellow one looks best. Actually, it just doesn't match, does it? I'm trying to work out what would look the best. Maybe this one. Oh, actually, yeah, that one works the best because it's like a little bit in the middle. And then what I'm going to do is do another little break there, and then we can have the fridge here. I actually did want it to be slightly further away, so I think I'm going to push everything over a little bit. Then in terms of our fridge, what kind of fridge do we want? Could go with like this one. I wish we had like similar colors to this actually. Does it come in our color that we've picked though? It does come in gray, which matches the rest of the room. And this is kind of similar to these cabinets here, but not really exactly. Let's go with gray, I think. Or we can pick the smeg, but we're doing kind of modern, more of a modern look, I think. Tell you what though, this blue actually looks a little bit nicer. Countertops match the main section of these cabinets, so I think I'm going to go with that. Then we can put our oven in here. I'm just going to go with this more modern one here. Then what I want to do here is just add some little back sections to here where we've got a little exhaust and obviously some little cabinets and things. I really really like these ones that have like the little windows in. I think they'll go pretty well in here. If I can kind of decide on what color I want them to be. They could be blue, so they might, I might do them as blue. And what I'm gonna do is just do like the end one here, then we'll do a skinny one above, and then another end one on the other side. Then we can grab our exhaust and just stick it in the middle. I'm gonna go with the one from this set, and we'll pick the, is this the same color? It's not the same color. Change it a little bit. This one works pretty well. Grab my smoke alarm and just stick it above the fridge there, and then we can add some little bits on top of that fridge as well. Don't really know what I want to add on a bit though. Could just add maybe this pan. We can grab the pan in a dark blue as well, and I could just stick that actually on top of the hob here. I don't know if it might be actually better to grab it in a different color so that it stands out a bit better. I think this cream color works a little bit better. Then on top of the fridge, I'm just going to add a couple of little extra items. Going to add a little bread box as well, maybe on this side so that it's closer to the fridge. Then I kind of do want to include these little like challah breads just literally here, because I think they look kind of cool. It's nice to include those in like a little kitchen right next to the hob where we've clearly just done some cooking. Okay, and then I'm pretty happy with that bit. I think I want to do that thing that you can get on the wall where it's just got some herbs. I tend to include that in like most of them, even if it's not a cottage build. I choose the slightly more modern one though, like this one. Yeah, that looks really cool. Now we've got obviously this whole section in the middle, which I was thinking about putting a dining table there. It will take up quite a bit of room, so I'll push it over a little bit so it's over here, and then we have this wall as well. The bit that I always struggle with is sort of finding cottagey artwork. I can tend to just add in sort of old-fashioned, like sort of vintagey pictures or things like this. I think kind of work quite well, but they're always really tiny, which kind of sucks. And also that's like a little bit too expensive looking, because I think this whole place isn't that expensive looking at the minute. Let's see if we can get some older looking pictures, maybe like this one. I don't want to build up an entire wall, but if I need to make it look good, I guess I'm gonna have to. So I'm gonna go with some of these ones as well, because obviously fruit kitchen makes sense. So I guess I am gonna build them up. We're gonna try and do that. Sometimes it comes out looking pretty good, and sometimes it just comes out where they all look very different. I haven't mastered making a cluttered like kitchen, like no, cluttered like picture wall yet. It's all to do with like making sure the sizings are different and you're kind of spreading them out. I think it's looking okay so far though. We grab this that definitely needs to be made a bit smaller and stick that here. Let's see if we can just add one more little one in here, and then I might just leave it at that. I think that does look pretty good though. So now we do need a place for a bin. I am considering just putting it in this little hole here, but I think it might be better to put it like over here in this corner. So I'm gonna go with this one just because it kind of matches like what we've already got in the room. Then we can go ahead and find a dining table. Obviously it didn't need a dining table, but we do have such a big room and such an open space that it kind of needs it. So we're gonna want a bit more of a rusticy one. One like this actually would probably work pretty well. I'm gonna move it so it's over here. How does that look? That doesn't look too bad actually. It makes sense that it's closer towards the dishes as well and away from these countertops over here. Then we need to find a good chair that matches. Obviously this one is from the same pack as the countertops we picked over there, so it'd be good to pick this one, but I don't think the colors work as well. Can we get this in a bluer color? Might be better. We can, but actually that kind of works. Is that a bit too bright though? I think it might be bright. That's annoying. We'll have to find different chairs, I think. How about these ones? These ones actually look really nice. Yeah, I'm gonna go with these. I think these look pretty. And then obviously we need something for the table, and I think like some little flowers or something would be perfect. I tend to go with these ones, but I'm gonna see if there's any other ones that work better. We do have like this little flower here. That's actually kind of cute. I like that. Let's go with that. Then I think that's kind of it. We do have this wall here, but I don't really know what you'd put there. I guess you could put aprons. I tend to do aprons, but I try to keep them like closer towards the actual like cooking section, so I don't know if it's gonna work. We could put it on this wall, but there's not much space there. We'll see how it looks. So it's gonna do like green ones, I think. Actually, it doesn't look too bad. Yeah, we'll put those there. There we go. Okay, so that room's done. We can move on to our next one, which is gonna be this one. And all of the next big rooms that we're doing are going to have windows, which is super exciting. And then our last one we're doing is gonna have double windows because we're right on the end. So I think the next one I'm gonna do is gonna be a child's room. So yeah, we're going with the child age, I think. I think that'd be the best. And then I'm gonna try and do it so that we've got like a little hatch over here where it's like a little seating area where they can look outside. So to do that, I am gonna raise it up. So we're gonna go ahead and add in another platform. I think I'm gonna raise it up too. Then the idea I have is basically just to section it off a little bit, put some curtains in, and then we can put some like comfy seating area here. But I'm trying to work out how I want to do that comfy seating area. I might have to do like a basement and then lift it up. So I think that's what I'm gonna do here. but it's not going to let me do it for some reason. Weird. That's fine. We can deal. I'll try and work out another way of doing it. I could just try and grab a really comfy rug or something and put it there instead. This one looks pretty comfy, but it's also, so we're going to have to make it a little bit smaller. If I make it this big, it doesn't actually fit. Yeah, we'll go with this one. I think this one looks pretty cozy. Like, you can kind of tell it's got that extra bit of like softness to it. I'm going to have to do it like that though, which is a little bit annoying because you can see a line, but it's fine. Then we do need to give ourselves this space to be able to put curtains there. So let's grab some curtains, and I'm going to kind of go with more cream tones in this room. I think maybe this one. This one's got like nice cream tones to it. Or we've got these ones as well, but they're a little bit too big, I think. They do need to be like slightly longer though. I think I'm going to go with these ones. I think they look the best. Then now I'm just trying to decide whether I want them to go all the way to the floor. I'm going to have them just go to there. I think that looks okay. Then I think I'm going to add like the beam things, these things, in order to free up this whole section here. There we go. That's kind of what I was thinking. So we've got the little bits on there, and then obviously we've got our little section here, although that would be better a little bit lower, but I don't think it's going to work. Put them there. I think that's the lowest I'm actually going to get them. And that doesn't look too bad. That looks fine. And then we need some little stairs as well to get up in there. So my hope was actually that I could get like some comfy seating and put it behind there as well, but I don't think that's going to work. Like this kind of thing, but it's too high up and it wouldn't let us put a basement in there, so we can't do the basement technique. Then I am really liking this. I think this looks really cool, but I will have to change the colors a little bit of what I've already picked for like these woods, because they do not go. Okay, so I've changed all the colors now so they look a little bit better. They all tie in a little bit nicer now. So now we can go ahead, and I don't know whether I want to do something different in this little section over here. Obviously we still do want to match the color palette that we've picked, but I'm just wondering whether I should pick something a little bit different so it stands out a bit more, even if it's just like wood or something like that. So I'm thinking maybe blue on the inside, but I'm trying to match blue that we've got already in the stripes. That's proving difficult as it seems to be like a greeny blue. This kind of matches though. It's a little bit darker, but I think it matches pretty well. Then let's go ahead and add in our flooring. Thinking about just going pure wood, I think that looks quite nice. Then let's go in and grab our windows, and I'm going to have one big window on this side so that you can look out while like you're playing as if you're a kid. Thinking it's something like this. That looks quite nice. And then we'll grab another window for this side as well. We've gone with like a bit more of a modern look, so a more modern window would be better. I feel like this one looks good. I think we need more comfort in this room, so I am going to add some little chairs around this section over here. I think just to make it feel a little bit cozier. We could actually add an entire sofa, but I'm thinking about having it so that it loops around a little bit like this. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. We've got now this little comfy area that you can sit in. I'm going to add a little table as well that can just have like loads of little toys on it and things. My only issue is that the color palette doesn't exactly work. Let's see if we can get a better color palette. I mean, white works better. I'm just looking at the wood mainly that's on it, but I do think the white works a little bit better. We definitely need to make this feel a little bit more kiddie though, because I think at the minute it's just feeling like a strange dining room. A coffee table in there, and then let's go grab just a bunch of kids' toys and plushies and things that we can just scatter around. Gonna grab a big bear and we can put that in the corner. Then maybe a little dog, and we can make that even smaller and just stick that next to him. There you go. So added some little toys there as well, and then we can go over here. I'm thinking about adding another toy box here as well. But we do need obviously the bed, and I'm gonna put that here. Ooh, I do also want to include this thing because I haven't included this yet, and I think it looks really cool, but it is huge, so I don't know if it's actually gonna fit. We could put it here, and then does that work? Kinda. We'd need to work out where to put the bed, or I could put the bed in here. If you're enjoying this video so far, be sure to like, share and subscribe. Okay, so on this side of the kids' room, I'm going to have the bed. I think that's probably the best idea. I do really want to include that tent just because I think it looks super cute. So I'm going to have a bed just going along here. Let's go pick one. There is one that I specifically really like. Let's see if I can find it. This one. I absolutely love this one. I think it looks so good. I'm going to put it... We'll put it there. Oh, I guess this is a toddler's bed though, isn't it? And we're kind of doing a child's room. Although, what is that used for? Because I can't actually remember who it's suitable for. Children and toddlers. Okay, so it is children, so we do need a regular bed. I think that's fine. We'll use a regular bed because some of these are still really cool that we get in the interior design pack. So we should still be able to make like a quite nice bed for this kid. And I think a bunk bed is probably a better idea. I really like this one in particular. I'm gonna go grab the same color palette because we're using this kind of wood color. color. I am contemplating just putting it right in the middle. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, that looks okay. Although I do kind of feel like it might be better over here. Yeah, we'll put it there instead. It opens up the room a bit more. So we got to decide for the rest of the room what we want to do. And obviously, like, we've got this little section here, which I do want to try and work out something that I can put in there to make it a little bit more exciting. I'm thinking about making it like a little reading nook where we could put a little chair, and then obviously we've got this whole section here, but I think it could be cool to have this little like private section where you can just sit and like read a little book. And I'm gonna put like maybe this bear in here. We do have it in different styles as well if I wanted to go with a slightly different color. I really like this guy. I'm gonna include him. I like his face. So if we put maybe the reading thing could go here, and then we can put the books on the other side. Actually no, I think it'd be better this way. It flows a little bit better so you can actually look into the room if you had it open. And then let's grab some books for the other side. I was thinking it's something a bit more simplistic, or like quite thin would be better, because obviously we don't have a lot of space, so it's gonna have to be quite thin anyway. But like something like this might be a bit too big. What is like the thinnest one? We do have ones that go on the wall as well. I could do that and then make it smaller. That actually looks pretty good. I might do that. We can put it there. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, something that's like that kind of skinny. We can make it the same wood color as well, which is perfect. We do actually have like room underneath, so I'm kind of curious about like raising up a bit more and then putting a toy chest under there, but the toy chests are quite big, so we might have to make them a bit smaller. Alternatively, we could just put like a couple of little toys down there instead, which might work better. Just gonna do maybe like that, and then one additional little toy like this. There we go. That's quite cute. Yeah, I like that. Awesome. And then we can do the rest of the room. So obviously we've got quite a lot. I would definitely want to put a rug down. I'm trying to decide where I want it though. I think over here might be quite good, just as you enter the room. Now I've got to try and decide on what kind of rug we want. I mean, I really like these rugs, but I don't think it fits because we've got quite a like modern looking room, and I don't think that one works super great. What about one of these rugs? It does have a touch of purple there, and obviously we're going with blue, so I guess purple and blues work well. What about this one, just like massively in the middle of the room? I don't think it works in the middle. We could make it a little bit smaller though and maybe put it here. I do kind of want to put this on an angle like this so it feels a bit more natural. How does that look? Actually, what about multiple rugs over the top of each other? If we grab this one and then we grab like fluffy rug, I know there is one somewhere. This one here, and then if we can get it in a plain color. This one's quite good. How about that? That looks kind of cool actually. Yeah, I like that. Then what else could we include? So obviously we need a wardrobe. We don't have that yet, so we could put that maybe at the end of the bed here, but I kind of like how open this one section is, so I might just put it underneath here. We'll have a look and see what there is first. I was thinking like something like this, but that is quite big and that does take up quite a bit of room, but it doesn't look that bad actually. I thought it would look worse. I feel like it looks a little bit better in white though. Yeah, that looks better. And then let's get, I did want more toys, so we can just scatter some more toys around. If I can find, where's that toy chest? Go with, none of these colors match. This is kind of the closest we're getting, I think, this toy chest here. So we can just whack that underneath there. And then I do want more general just toys around. A little dragon under there as well. The color doesn't really match, but if we change it to blue, then it looks good. And then we've got this bit over here as well, which I'm real tempted to add in like a tiny, like one of these little playhouses. Maybe this one actually. If I make it a bit smaller, I could put it there. I think it becomes completely unusable at that point, but I think it looks pretty good. And then we can go ahead and add in some pictures as well. I feel like this is quite a creative room, so I guess artwork might be really good for the walls. I really like this thing. I think this looks really cool. You can get like it in loads of different colors as well, so it always ends up looking really good in a room. As for the rest of the room, I'm just trying to work out what else would actually work in here. Obviously got a lot of blue tones, so more blue stuff would be better. What other walls have we got? We've got all of this section over here, so something a bit longer would work better as well. This is quite cool actually. If I could use this, yeah, that is nice actually. I like that. Okay, how is that room? I think that looks pretty good. I don't think there's a lot else I actually want to do to it. I think it looks really cool as is. So now we can move over to our next and our last big room before we move on to the little one. And for this one, we're going to be going outside again. So I'm just going to basically do this whole section as an outside little pool. Now I haven't done an outside pool yet. I don't think. We've done like quite a few inside ones, but I wanted to do a little outside one where it just looked kind of cute and just worked pretty well with the room. I did just notice though that we have not put a door in this room, which is really annoying because now I'm going to have to move some stuff around. So what I think I'm going to do is actually make that slightly smaller and drag it over here. We can then pull this all the way over here and then add the wardrobe to this side. So it's not the end of the world. It doesn't look too bad. I think it still looks pretty good. And then we can actually actually just rearrange a few things, pull this over a bit. Yeah, I think that still looks pretty good. Then we can add another door here, which will then lead us to our next room. And as we are going into an outdoor room, I am contemplating putting an outdoor door, just because that kind of does make more sense if I can find one in the right color. This one works really well actually, is the same color, so I'm going to go with that one. Then we can go ahead and do our outside room. So this one, I think I'm just going to go with a classic hedge all the way across here. I do want it to feel quite green, but still obviously have that nice like pool that we're going to add in as well. So it's going to be a bit of a rocky kind of texture. I'm going to try and mimic that on the walls as well, I think. I'm going to go with the slightly taller one though. I think that'll look a bit better. Now for this one, I'm not actually going to remove the floor because I want it to be a lot of man-made floor, so I don't really think it's necessary. I do want it to be almost like decking, so I don't know, actually I could do tile, or let's have a look at like what's some of the more outsidey ones look like. I'm thinking like this kind of stuff. This one's really nice, so I think we go with this one, and then let's pick a wall as well. I might go with like an accent wall across here and then brick or something all across these sides. So what I think I'm going to do is add this all the way across here. We're going with a bit more of a modern look, so to be fair, that door we picked doesn't really work. I might change it, but I think for now it'll be fine. Once we've got our color palette kind of set down, then we'll give it a bit of a change. I'm going to go with this brick because it matches. We've kind of like gone with the inside parts of these bricks matches this, and then the actual like stones matches this. So I think the color palette fits pretty well so far. I actually don't mind this so much. I might change it, but we'll put everything else down first. I'm gonna now put down our pool because we want to be making sure that we have enough space for everything on, like, because the pool's gonna take up quite a lot of space. I don't know if I want to bring it all the way to this back section here. I might actually do like a bit of a custom pool. So what I think I'm gonna do is have it go all the way over here, maybe up to this door here. I think that should be fine, and then we'll actually drag it so that it's like this. We're gonna have a bit of a weird shape. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good, and it still gives us loads of space over here to be able to put some chairs and things down as well. So now we can decorate the actual pool. I want it to be a little bit rocky, so I think this one might work. Yeah, that works quite well. I always change my pool color to be this one just because I think it looks super nice. It's like got a slightly more realistic tone to it, and the color just looks a little bit better. And then I'm actually going to change the walls to be the same as that bit there, and I'm going to change the flooring to actually just be the same as the flooring we used here. Kind of just ties it in. Or we'll pick one that's like, actually we'll go with that one. I think it stands out a bit too much otherwise. And I do want a little ladder as well, and I'm going to put it on this side here. So in terms of our little ladder, I do really like this one, but I don't know if it's going to work. It also kind of looks rusty, but I know that you might be able to fix that. It kind of works. I like it, but I really hate that rust. Is it only in rusty? Yeah, it is. That sucks because it looks really nice. So that's kind of annoying. I guess we'll have to go with a different one. We could just do the bog standard one that you just normally use. I don't think that looks too bad actually. Definitely not a pool that you could do laps in, but I think that it looks kind of pretty. Then on this back wall here, what should I do there? I am tempted by some ivy just on this whole corner here, just because I think that that would look kind of nice, and then we can drag it over a little bit, and then we can put something. Actually, I am tempted to move this to just this other side here, just so that then we have a bit more space on this corner here, and I don't think it looks too bad there either. Although I do kind of wish it was a bit darker. Could make it black, but that does not look good. Yeah, we'll leave it as is. And then what I'm going to do is just add a bunch of ivy to this corner. I don't want it to be too much like if I was doing it on the outside of a regular house, just because normally when you do it on the outside of a regular house, you have like a lot more space. And obviously we do not have a massive amount of space here. So I'm just going to add it kind of just like this, where it's a little bit random, and then we'll just bring it down to there. Then obviously to make it a little bit smoother, we're just going to add one of these. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. I might actually bring this up a bit more like that. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so now that we've got a little bit of ivy there on the side, we can go ahead and do the rest of it. So I think I do want something else in this little corner here, even if it's just like maybe a chair with some towels on it. That could look pretty good. Have a look, see if there's any that look like they could be outdoor chairs. I quite like this one actually, but I don't think it comes in the colors that I need. This one's quite nice. Yeah, let's go with this one. I'm going to just put it in the corner, and we're going to put some towels on it. I'm just going to use these little ones here, and we can pick two different colors, or we can go with the same. I think I'm going to go with the same. Otherwise it might not be distinguishable as like towels. I'm just going to put them there. Yeah, that looks good. And then we also could do with maybe some lights. I feel like maybe a little light on top of either the towels or just next to it there would be really good. We could do, I'm really tempted to actually just do one of these and then make it slightly smaller. I know that that sometimes skews candles a little bit, but I think it looks kind of pretty to just have like 3 little candles right next to there. Going back to this section though, let's have a little think about what else could work. I am actually half tempted to grab this and change it up so it's not an accent wall, but just where the actual pool is. You can't really see it that well behind this brick here, but what I'm thinking about doing is actually putting a pillar on either sides here, just to split it up a little bit. So if we grab these 2 little pillars here, we can put them there, and it doesn't look too bad with this random split here, because it kind of just looks like it's growing over it. Then in terms of this part, I do just want some lights. I don't think I want to do too much with it, otherwise it might look a little bit funny. I could also maybe add like something to the outside just to make it look a little bit better, and then put lights either side like a picture, but I don't always do that just because it doesn't always look that good. I also have no idea what I would actually add. Let's see if there's any like decorations. I'm tempted by like this thing, but I always feel like it looks too thick for what I want it to be, which kind of sucks. Could go with something like this though, which actually does kind of work. I could do that and then put lights either side. I'm going to do one there and then just one there. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. And then we can go over to the other side. Obviously we need another door there that leads us to our last room, and then we obviously are going to put some chairs and things here as well. So for our last door, I might go with something a bit different and go with like one of these. That looks pretty cool actually. So yeah, let's go with that, and then we'll add in some chairs and stuff and maybe some potted plants and things. So I want the like lounger chairs. I don't actually know what they're called. I think they're in here. Oh, I was wrong. Are they in here? Yeah, there they are. So it's like these things, and there's some here that look really good. I'm just gonna put them on like a slight angle, and we'll just add 2. Problem is trying to match the angle then. We'll put one there and one here. I cannot match the angle. I could just put them on a straight angle like this, but then that doesn't look as good. Why do they look so off? I could just put them like this, to be fair. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad actually, and then we'll put a little table in between them as well. I definitely want a slightly smaller side table in the middle here, so let's grab a little one. I'm trying to decide on what one I think would look the best outside, because a lot of them aren't really for outside use. This one's quite nice, if I can make it small enough. I don't really want to put anything on it though, or I could just put like a singular, I might use like these again, these little like lights, because these are really cute, but I would definitely have to like use a cheat to get it up to the same height, because this is now really small. So let's work out how tall that is. It might just be like 3, yeah, something like that, and then we'll stick it in the middle here, and then put our tiny table underneath it. Okay, and then the only other thing that I can really think that I want to include is just some additional little plants around, just to make it feel even more like in touch with nature, because I think that we've done that quite well with the ivy over here. I just want to do it a little bit more. So I'm gonna add in, the problem is trying to work out the plant pot colors. I quite like this one, and obviously we want to try and make it seem like it's all outside plants as well. Some of them work quite well as outside plants, and some of them are clearly meant for indoors. We do have this big space over here as well, so I might put this bigger plant here, as this one looks kind of cool, and I don't think I've used it a lot before. Ooh, this one's really good as well. I love that plant. Okay, I think that's pretty good then, without filling it up a bit too much and making it look like really cluttered. The only thing I want to add is actually a light there that I've just noticed. There is like a little bit of a blank wall there. We could add it to the other side as well, just to make it symmetrical too. I would always recommend people doing like just a little 360 of the entire room, and just if there's anything that pops out as just like completely empty, then just filling it in with something just to make it look like it's a bit more fleshed out. So I really like this light, but I don't think that it matches with what we've already picked, unfortunately. I just like the fact it's got like a little leaf on it. So I think we're going to need to pick something maybe a little bit more modern. I actually feel like there isn't enough lights for the outside of a house. Maybe this one actually. Does this work? I mean, again, it's like not really that modern. I think I could just go with these. I think these are quite modern. So we'll just go with those 2 there, and then we can move on to our last room, which is our little room for today. And it's all the way over here, right in the middle of all of the little rooms. So for this one, the idea that I had in mind was actually a similar to like, we did a little coffee station over here, but I want to do it slightly differently and have it as basically a place where you can also drink the coffee, because last time we kind of had it where it was all mainly coffee station, not much else. I want to have this as a bit more of a place where you can just go and also sit up on a little counter and also drink the coffee. My only concern being that we might not have enough room, so I guess we'll see whether there's actually enough room and that we can actually do this, because what I'm actually going to do is try and get like a really little like table that we can put up here, and I'm trying to work out what the best way of doing that is. I was initially thinking we could do like backwards countertops, but obviously that does make it quite big. We might need that amount of space though, which kind of sucks. I'm thinking we go like this kind of wood color again. We'll do it like all the way across here. And then what I think I'm going to do is actually just add 2 chairs here so it doesn't go all the way across and it gives us a bit more space. And then I do want it to have like comfy vibes. So I'm thinking I'm going to go with like this one. Yeah, we'll go with this one, these chairs. I'm going to do just 2 and then we can have the coffee station be on the other side. And then to make the room feel even bigger, I'm also going to add a mirror all the way across here. Ideally, if this was in an actual room, I would put a mirror, I would put like a window there instead, because it would give us like way more like nice view to actually look at rather than just staring in at yourself while you're drinking coffee. But obviously this has no windows in it, so we can't really do that. At least with the big window, it still makes it feel like, at least with the big like mirror, it still feels like quite open. So I'm gonna add this to this side here, and I'm actually gonna stretch it up so that it goes all the way to the top like this, which I actually think looks pretty cool. It kind of looks like a desk at the minute though, but it's fine. And then I am actually going to use this corner as well. Obviously I haven't put a chair there because we've got the door there, but I am going to use this corner for like just some additional coffee things. Obviously we want our colors and stuff as well, so I'm going to change up our walls and our floor. I'm going to do just a bog standard white wall. I think that might come out best. And then I'm going to do a nice wooden floor as well for just a more clean design. I think I'm going to go with that one. Obviously the wood of this door doesn't perfectly match. I could actually change it. Yeah, I'm going to change it. I don't think it makes too much of a difference in the other room. Okay, so in this little corner here, I'm just going to add obviously a little plant because that will look the best there. And then I do want to put some extra little decorations. So this is where I'm not entirely sure which I'm actually going to add. I think stuff like this always looks quite good. I don't know why all my stuff's suddenly gone wonky though. Let's try fix that. There we go, that looks all right. And we could put this here, but the thing is that's a salt and pepper and this is clearly a cafe. I could put a little picture though right next to this little plant. I feel like that looks a little bit odd though. We could have this, which I think looks really pretty if I put that around here. Yeah, I like that. That looks nice. And then on the other side, I wanted to do just a bunch of shelves and obviously where we're going to do our coffee. Now in an actual game, I'm not sure how much this could be used, mainly because of how close the seats are to these little countertops here. But for now in this, it just kind of looks nice. Let's go ahead and grab our coffee stuff. So I could go all out and we could add like one of these, but I don't really want to do that. Let's just go with this and then this. And I'm going to put that on the other side so we can put some stuff on the inside section here. Obviously, we're going to want to move it as well just so we can add some additional decorations in. Thinking just like these things. Actually, that can just go like right next to it. Yeah, it looks all right actually. Then actually we could have a sink. I think that that's probably a good idea. We're going to add a little sink in the middle there. And then obviously we want loads of little shelves where we can put loads of additional items. And for that, we're going to need to move all of these. So I'm just going to shift them into this other room. I'm probably going to go with like a similar kind of color scheme if I can. So maybe like this. Yeah, that works. And then we'll do just 2 shelves. And then obviously we need to fill them all. So for that, I'm basically just going to go with any items that kind of work, as we've got quite a lot of shelves. I really wish that we had like plain mugs that weren't just in like debug, because otherwise they get really stinky and they're not the best thing to have, to be honest. I'm going to go with these things though as well. I just think these are really good with clutter. We do obviously have some more stuff that looks a little bit more like it's actually meant for coffee, and I'm going to include those too. I might put them on like the top bit though. Could also have some little books. I might add like way more books afterwards, but for now that's fine. So yeah, let's go ahead and add more books. I'm going to add them all to the top section though. I'm just going to add them all in the corner, I think, and then we'll fiddle around with it after. There you go, that looks fine for now. And then we need some more stuff that might be like coffee related. So we've got like this little thing which I think is like utensils. Obviously we have way more coffee related stuff, so I'm just going to have a look and see what works best. I think this is quite nice. And then obviously we've got these pots and I really like these, but they're always a little bit too big, so I'm just going to make them a bit smaller and then bring them up onto this first shelf here. We do have more books, but I kind of want to try and keep this bit as coffee-ish related as we can. But I don't think there's really a lot else that even looks like you'd be using it for coffee. We do have these, which I guess you could take them as like, I don't know, seasonings like salt and, wait, salt? Maybe like sugar, or I guess like cinnamon, which to be fair, these could also be taken as that as well. I'm also going to do this little storage box. And then we only need one more item. I'm just going to see if there's anything in here. We obviously do have this as well. I might include this like right at the top next to this little jug that we have. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Then I'm just trying to work out what our last item could be. I might do these. these, but make them smaller and then bring them all the way up. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. And then we can add all of our items back. Yeah, that's cute. I do think maybe we need like one little picture here. I want like one of the more simplest pictures. I know kind of the idea of which one I want to go with. These ones. If I can find one in a good color. Yeah, this one. Perfect. I'm just going to add it here. There we go. I think that's that room done. It looks super cute. And there is our 4 rooms done. We are super close. Obviously, we are going to do our last room in the next episode, which is going to be coming out next week. It's going to be super awesome. Trust me when I say that this idea that I have for this final room is going to be super good. So please make sure that you subscribe and stay tuned for next week. I think that my favorite room that I actually did in this one is the kids room. I think it looks super unique and pretty cool. I also really like the little coffee station thing that I did right at the end. I think that looks really nice as well, as it's like pretty cluttered on one side, but then quite sleek and a nice design as well. But be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I post long content like this every Wednesday and Friday at around 6 p.m. I also try to post shorts the rest of the week. If you enjoyed this video, the series for this video is on the screen now, so be sure to check that out. There is also a recommended video, so please do check that one out too. And I hope you all have a great rest of your evening.